I came across this site called How Stuff Works a couple weeks ago and thought it would be really cool since it has a whole bunch of different content and learning that kids can do. There's all these at the top here, you can see all the different subjects that you can click on and find how stuff works inside of it. They have people write articles and do experiments and figure out all these things. I thought it would be fun to use for like lesson plan ideas, to relate the concepts that we're learning in class to real life for students, or even assign students writing projects from the ideas here. My students may even come across this site in their research papers if they're researching something similar to an article that's already been written on here. So I found this article called How Gold Works in the chemistry area of this website and was going to look at the currency of the whole website, and it seems like it's copyright 2017, so it's updated all the time. Each article can be looked up a citation at the bottom of the page, and it has the date that the actual article was written right here. If this one was written February 23rd in 2009, so it's kind of old, but gold hasn't really changed in the last 100 years anyway. The actual article, person who wrote the article, you can click on their name and go to their specific information on the website of everyone who works for How Stuff Works. And most of the people that work for them have degrees in writing or creative writing, journalism, communication, something with English and not really applicable to science. So I was kind of questionable on the authority of the people if they really had the right background to be able to write stuff, but it seems like on this specific one, William Harris, he is a bachelor's degree in biology, which uses chemistry stuff as well, and a master's degree in science education. So he obviously knows what he's talking about when it comes to the simple stuff of the periodic table. The accuracy of the stuff written in the article seems to me like it's all quite relevant and actually true, but then he also sorts his sites that he got his information from, like National Geographic, which is a reputable source, International Aluminum Institute, which is also reputable, and different ones all through his article that he cites, proving that he didn't just come up with this stuff on his own learning or what his own background gives him. That proving that he probably used reliable, truthful, and correct information. His grammar and spelling is all correct in the article, and since not just anyone can write articles for How Stuff Works, like as in Wikipedia, I feel like it would be more reputable to use it. The language doesn't seem biased on the information, and there might be some nonsense articles, but I feel like if the students look up the actual author of each article and make sure that they use lots of sources in their articles, that they're probably a usable source that you could be trusted. The reason this site exists, which would be the purpose, is to inform exactly just how stuff works. They have apps, like I said earlier, and stuff to sell. So maybe they want to make money too, obviously, but they have to pay their workers somehow. And as long as the articles are well cited, like I said, I would go with their fact. And I'd probably have students just get ideas from this site and then find more sources on other sites to back them up. I wouldn't want them to think this was all just truth since it's written by people. You shouldn't ever think anything you find is truth without backing it up with more information. So I would probably use this site a lot just to help students get ideas for what to talk about, what to write about, what they can do their projects on, and then use it as an idea source and not as the only source. If I were to rate this website or this specific article on the CRAAP rating scale of 1 through 10, I would say for currency that it would get a 9, since it's copyrighted 2017, as the whole site is, but the article itself is 2009, and even though gold doesn't really change much, it still wasn't written very recently. The relevance I'd give a 10 because How Stuff Works has any information about anything you ever want to write about throughout the whole website. Authority and accuracy I'd give 7s for each of them, since the people are mostly writing majors and not really professionals in this area they're writing about. So as long as they cite it, I would say it's useful, but you don't know if all of them are actually, every single article on here is actually cited very well. For a purpose, I would give it a 9 because the reason the site exists is to inform everyone exactly how stuff works, and it does exactly that. Whether it's truthful or not depends on how well each article is cited, but I would say if it's cited well and you can back it up with other sources, then it would be fact. However, I'd probably just have the students just get ideas from the site and find their other sources on the topic. Otherwise, I'd say it's a really good site overall, and I actually hope to use it someday in my classroom.